He was literally unconscious. They life flighted him, and he was like 10 minutes from death from a pig.
Oh, no, I'm going to take a rip off these smelling salts and get our fucking day going. These are fucking good, dude. Oh my god. All right. Fucking loading up. How do you pronounce your last name?
Wenner.
Wenner.
Yeah.
Dalton Wenner. All right, guys. So we're back in the studio. I think this is going to be episode 13. We're here with a good buddy of mine, Dalton Wenner. I met you through the tattoo shop, and yeah, figured I might as well come on down and have a good conversation, man. We're just going to fucking freeball it on this one. I actually, like you said about the fucking hat, and I'm like, man, 4th of July is not for like 2 months. You know, like fucking, they fuck with you mentally with Walmart. They put the shit out there like a month ahead of time.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy fuck, is it fucking July already? You're like, look at all the shit that's out.
Well, I bought this last year because me and a buddy went, and we went crazy because they had a 4th of July party at the bar down at Emporium.
Okay.
And he's like, let's go all out. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, let's
bring that mic just a little bit further up to you there. Yeah, you can. That's on a whole boom. You can look at this thing, has a full swing. You can put it wherever you want. But yeah. So that's what I'm hoping to like maybe eventually do here. I mean, I don't want to get too crazy and do like house parties and have people trash my shit.
Yeah.
But like maybe get together and just do something cool. Like, cause I like to just be silly and fucking dress up. Like I look for any excuse to like buy all of the shit that they sell at Walmart, the fucking St. Patrick's Day hats and the fucking necklaces and.
We went to like 4 different stores because this didn't start till like 9 at night. And he texted me at like 3 in the afternoon. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, nothing. He's like, we're going to go buy 4th of July stuff. I was like, okay. Picks me up and he is jamming to the most 4th of July song in his car. And I'm like, what am I getting myself into?
He's really encompassing the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. He bought a giant American flag like the one behind your head, duct taped a pole to the back of his car, and flew the flag on the way home.
Oh, my God.
We had flannels. He cut his pants at the bar into Daisy Dukes. Oh, my God. It was great. Everybody at the bar was dying. They're like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm Daisy Duking it.
Man.
Well, then he cut one too high and one was too low. So they were uneven. It was an eventful
Trick
time.
is to fold them and cut them across. You're never going to get them perfect, but, you know.
Yeah, he was standing straight up.
Yeah, if you got to cut them while you're wearing them.
Yeah, it was bad.
I've cut them off while wearing. Cut them off at the fucking knee, though. But, man, Daisy Dukes, that's a whole other level.
Oh, it was great. Everybody at the bar was loving it.
I bet.
The owner would come in and he's like, I'm not even going to question what is going on.
But see, you need people like that because, again, like, there's a lot of people that are just too pretentious and would never do that, you know, or too worried about what other people think, can't laugh at themselves, you know, but, like, these are the kind of people I love to surround myself with because I've just been that type forever. I can't be embarrassed, you know, like, I can have fun and I can, you know, just completely let go of that whole side of it. I don't worry, like, I would do the same thing, man, like, me and your buddy ought to get together, we'll fucking plan something for this 4th of July. But it's like, it's all about just having fun, man, you know, you're not hurting anybody, you know. If anybody can, you know, attest to that, it's me. It's like I said, like, especially like, you know, say what you want. I'm sure he can handle it. You know, you can call him a fag, you can call him whatever you want. I doubt it's going to hurt his feelings.
Oh, no, he's been called a lot worse. He was in the Army for, I think, 2-3 years, and he loved it. It's just he couldn't handle being away from all of his family anymore, so he come back.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to love. There's a lot of sweaty men there. A lot of buff men. What's not to love?
And women.
Yeah, there is women there now,
I've seen
too.
some buff Army women, and it's like,
I wouldn't want to get involved.
No.
That'd be fucking scary.
That'd be a little frightening.
I said about it long ago on an episode, but Biden actually pardoned a bunch. Actually, yeah, it was he pardoned hundreds of men that were prosecuted for having gay sex in the military. And I'm like, oh my God, could you imagine that's on your rap sheet and you're sitting in prison? Like, what are you in for? Like, consensual gay sex was illegal in the military not that long ago. And they were actually arrested. So, like, he had to pardon all these guys that were... It's like, oh my God, dude. This is the military. Could you imagine that? Like, this is the military. I don't care if you're gay. You don't do that in here. Yeah. Keep your gay shit out there. Like, man, I can't believe they were actually arresting people for just consensual gay sex.
That's
Like,
crazy.
it's fucking wild.
I just seen something the other day that Trump's making it to where all truck drivers now have to speak English. If they don't speak English, they get automatically deported.
Really? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
you gotta only, I don't know what you can believe and what you can't anymore.
right.
Sometimes I hear crazy shit and I get really either excited or really, I mean, like some things, like I said, it depends on what it is. Like,
Yeah.
I even said about last time, like solar panel roof tiles and shit like that. I'm like, I don't even know if that's real. I'm not gonna get excited yet. But like stuff like that, you just don't know. Like if you're getting your news source through social media or through Facebook or any of that stuff, it's like anymore, dude. It's so easy to fucking just make shit look so real. I
Yeah.
don't know what I believe until I see it happening. But I will say that as far as like I've noticed that in like the trucking industry, most of them are not American, nationality, whether they're
Yeah.
citizens or not. I don't care. But like it is weird because I mean, like, sure they might be able to speak English, but can they read it? Are they be able to read road signs properly? Because I've seen it firsthand, even here in our fucking little fucking town here, where like going through the diamond the wrong way. Like we've seen
Yeah.
them taking signs out, and you see, little Jose up there in the fucking rig, and he didn't even stop, dude. He didn't
He
literally
just
even
kept
like.
on rolling.
He like looks at the mirror, a couple signs. He just kept on going, and like I'm like, should I call the cops? I don't
That's
know
how
what
it
to
is down
do.
at my job. There's this one. He's always there. He's like 4 foot, and he drives a semi. And I'm
They're
like,
always
how
little.
in the hell can he drive a semi? And then you see him climb out, and I'm like,
Booster seat.
what? And I looked at the other Lyft driver, and I'm like, dude, how is that guy driving a semi? And he's like, I have no idea. I'm like, well, that puts
Well,
a whole new meaning.
I mean, I don't know. I guess, there's no license that requires you to be a certain height. You gotta, I guess, and just be able to reach the pedals. I don't know. I mean, like
Probably
they make
puts block
extenders though.
extensions on.
Yeah, they make extenders. I mean, all jokes aside, they really do. I mean, like that's kind of fucking weird to think about because you think that you would have to be able to, because I mean, even with that, to stop a fucking truck, you think you'd have to have, proper reach of the pedals and not some manufactured fucking
Yeah.
extended boot or something. Like
Yeah, that'd be a little frightening.
pedal extenders. Because how reliable is that? What if that gives out?
Slips, hits the brakes real quick.
I don't know. Yeah, you'd think that there'd be a little bit more scrutiny, but as far as like nationality, I mean, like if you can read and write English, then you're good to go. But
Right.
I do find it annoying if I have to push one for English and I'm in America, And I did see a fucking meme about this, but memes are real life now, So it's like it was like, okay, why do I push one for English and still get some guy who can't speak English? Like I still get some guy who can barely be understood. Like I pushed one for English. Give me someone who's speaking English. I'm still getting a Chinese guy, even if I push one.
That's why I hate calling and getting a telemarketer because they never speak English.
Sometimes I just push two for Spanish just to see how, just to make the day interesting.
Just get the translator out, put it next to the
just to make it as difficult for them as it is for me. If I got to fucking call them anyway.
That's how we do it down at work now because they brought in a bunch of people from all over that don't speak English at all. Well, there's one, and he speaks like 10 words, and other than that, he don't know any English.
Is this just recently?
Yeah.
Like since the new administration? So I mean, like obviously they've got their paperwork. They've probably been vetted.
Oh yeah.
What do you work at? Powdered metal, something like that. What do you?
Emporium Hardwoods. We got a sawmill.
Oh no shit! Woohoo! Man, so glad. I mean, like powdered metal is pretty common around here, but sawmill.
Oh.
Dude, which is a good opportunity for me to plug my buddy's new show. You're pretty new to the podcast, but my buddy Brian Lunger, and he is like a third generation, what I would call like a lumberman, timberman. His whole family's been in the sawmill and in the logging industry and stuff. Well, he's starting a new show, and it's all about the sawmill industry and the logging industry, and really it's about personal stories and stuff. It's not gonna get too clogged up into like industry, politics, and sales and all that. But you work in a sawmill, I'm sure you see all kinds of fucking interesting stuff all day. That's cool though, man, because like I loved working with wood, man. Like so you're actually in the mill, they're processing logs and stuff. So then you probably got like a green line and you have a dry line and all that.
I run the green line.
Oh yeah, so what's your position then?
I'm a head sawyer for the green chain.
Okay, I don't know what a sawyer is, but like I know that like there's a grader, guy who like runs the saw, and then stackers. Is that the same? Am I picturing the right thing?
Yeah, so instead of having a grader, you got a guy that runs the saw, and then a tailor that pulls the bad stuff off and puts the good stuff on the line for the stackers to take.
Okay.
So I run the saw every day. I run everything through it, and then my guys do what they have to do.
Nice, dude. That's cool, man. Like, so, like I said, I worked stacking lumber, pretty much like I guess through high school and a little bit after high school and stuff. But dude, I miss it all the time, dude. It's actually a really fun process to be a part of, honestly. And like the workout's incredible. I mean, like I don't know, you probably stacked lumber before you got to where you're at right now, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's a hell of a fucking workout, but it makes you feel good earning it every day. Yeah, especially
definitely not for some Joe Blow to just come off the street, because I've trained like 13 people and I've watched them last about 10 minutes and then they just leave.
Yeah, I mean it's been a long time since I've worked there, so I don't really remember that kind of stuff. But you're probably right because I mean you know right away if it's not for you, especially like I said, because stacking lumber is 100% physical. I mean it's top to bottom everything. You're running up and down a chain nonstop all day, and especially like like you might start on something easy like what, do you do like 6 and 8 foot? You probably just do
6.
you do
Well, we do
sixes?
8 foot to 12 foot.
Okay, so like we would stack 16s and stuff. I don't know if that's dry or green. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've worked in a mill, but yeah, like I love the longer boards. Like I was just talking to my buddy Brian about this the other day about just how you can bounce a fucking 12 or a 16 footer the whole way down a fucking chain. Like you can cover 12, 13 feet of fucking ground, knowing where that fulcrum point is of that board and just moving it. Like
Oh yeah.
as opposed to someone who like first day on the job, like how do I drag this big motherfucking thing, dude? It's this thick and 12 foot fucking long with rough edges. I gotta find the clean edge, hide the knot, give it a good edge on the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. Like I said, like the whole process and everything, and then of course, like you fill a pack, you go over and fucking band it up, shit's snapping on you, dude. Like,
oh, I watched the new guy. He went over. He's like, I know how to band. I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna watch this experiment go down.
is it metal banding or is it?
It's plastic.
They're using nylon there too. Wow. See, I was still using metal.
But it's like thick plastic, so it hurts once it snaps.
It snaps.
And I'm sitting there, and I stopped the saw, and I'm sitting there watching it. And my boss is looking at me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, watch this. We're going to watch him get smacked by this band. We're sitting there watching it. Next thing you know, you hear, pwap! Ow! And he's just got a big red mark right in the middle of his forehead. I was like, yep, band got him. I knew that was coming.
You're cranking it. If you don't know, you're fucking cranking it. Right, she's banded up many packs, dude. And I mean, it's got a breaking point, just like anything. So, I mean, you want that to be as tight as possible so the load don't shift because it's got to go onto a forklift, onto a truck. Oh my god, it's so funny. Like I said, back in the day, it was metal banding. So like when that thing would break loose, you'd hear it like the whole way across the mill, fucking whipping all over the fucking place.
They used to have the metal banding, but everybody kept running it over, and they had to keep replacing forklift tires.
Oh yeah, it's like a razor blade on the edge. Yeah, it's pretty fucking deadly stuff. And then like I was even just like laughing, like because I'd see guys like dropping the roll trying to replace the band. You know what I mean? It fucking breaks free and shit and busts open and spirals everywhere. Shout out to my boy fucking Shredder. I don't even know if I know his real name anymore. His name is Shredder because his pants got caught in this chipper in the shredder, and it fucking ripped him right off. He's standing there in his underwear. I literally seen him like a decade after working at fucking Madsen's too. And was like, Shredder. He's like, don't fucking call me that. None of my fucking friends that I know now know I'm Shredder. Don't ask me why. Don't ask why I'm called that. Like, man, I can't fucking, think of you any other way, man. Oh, yeah. It's buried, man. That's it. That's the only way he'll ever be remembered.
we have some good times down there. We had one guy, we were down because the chipper broke. We were cleaning up, and there was a big end of a log down there. My cousin was helping this guy, big dude, and I figured he wouldn't have no problem with it. Well, I'm standing down there talking to the boss, and here comes this guy with his hand on his ass, and he's walking towards us. I'm like, I bet you he shit himself, $100. My boss goes, God, I hope not. And I'm like, $100 says he shit himself. He walks up, he goes, I shit myself. I lost it. I was on the ground laughing my ass off for like 20 minutes.
Why do people fucking give up this information? Just go home or something.
That's what my boss said. He goes, well, I didn't want to know you shit yourself. He's like, well, where do I go? And he goes, home? Where else would you go?
Like, there may be clues. That you don't have to tell us this, I actually had a client that shit themselves while I was tattooing them. Maybe not actually during. I don't know. I didn't get, I didn't start interrogating the client. I didn't need any more information. But I was in the middle of tattooing her. This was at my old shop, my first shop. And literally in the middle of the tattoo, I don't know if we've received, we were at a breaking point or whatever, finished the outline. But she asked to go to the bathroom. So that's fine. So the bathroom was obviously in the other room. And she come running fucking like past my tattoo room and was like, I gotta go. I shit myself. I'm like, well, why the fuck did you even tell me? I would have made up anything in the world, and of course that lady never, ever, ever came back. I never did finish the tattoo. But I'm like, just like, okay, did it happen like on the way? You didn't make it to the bathroom? Did it happen in there? Did it happen while I was tattooing you? Like, and why did you tell me? Because I don't want to be sitting here processing all of this right now.
That's awesome.
Fucked up my whole day. And like now every time I'm tattooing somebody, I'm just wondering. Yeah.
Start asking everybody, you guys shit?
Yeah, please use the restroom before we start. And if you do have an accident, keep it to yourself. That's a public service announcement, and that's free. Because again, like I don't need that information. Like, keep it to yourself. There's just some things we don't need to know.
Yeah.
So he went home. Did he show his face again? I mean, he came back.
I think he went home, but then he came back the next day, and he didn't really leave where he was put at in the mill because he knew everybody knew, and he was like,
that's
no.
Tough. You got to face everybody after that. See, that's again, why'd you put yourself out there like that? You could have literally just disappeared, or even like, I would have made up anything.
Yeah, for real.
Literally anything. But I guess with that, nobody's even going to question it, because it's just like I'll say this, that I mean, whether it's you're trying to get out of going to school, whether you're trying to get out of going to work, if you call in with diarrhea, no questions asked. Nope. Stay home. We don't want you here. It's almost as bad as COVID. Just leave us out of it. So how long have you been there?
6 years. I've been
Holy
there since
shit.
I graduated.
Okay, I was gonna say, obviously you're at like an operator position now, so you don't have a grader above you. They don't grade it before it comes up.
The graders are up above us.
Okay.
So like if it gets graded wrong or it gets not marked because boards jump over, it'll drop down to us, and then we just put it in a pack, and then we send it back upstairs.
Oh, okay.
To regrade it.
See, it's obviously they figured out a way to be a little bit more efficient than whenever I was doing it, because literally, like, I was always amazed looking up at the grader, walking boards, literally standing on them, flipping them. Like I used to fucking have one of the grader sticks, to be able to flip it, fucking measure it, like lay it down. It's just an interesting process, and then you've got a long stick with a marker or a crayon, essentially. Yeah. And you fucking mark it for whatever it is. You cut off the fucking waste and the bad parts of it, and make it into a clean board. Yeah, it's a pretty cool process. And my buddy's telling me now that like he's seeing all this technology coming in now that like they can scan boards and they can see where imperfections are and see where shit's at. Pretty wild. So like I actually I've never even been out that way to know that there was even a mill up there, because he asked me. Because again, he's a couple hours away from here, but again, like to come around to local places around here and pick the brains of some people that work in the industry, maybe some guys that you work with be interested in maybe talking about shit. I mean, you're 6 years in, but you probably work with guys that are decade in, 20 years in. A lot of these guys get into this industry and stay there for a long time. Like it's pretty cool to see how it's come. Anybody die? Anybody losing any fingers?
We had one guy lose a finger like a year ago. He went to change the blade and grabbed the blade as it was slowing down. Shink! I was like, bleh.
Oh my god, dude! I would have passed out.
I was like, nope. I got on the radio. I'm like, Dustin, this one's for you. And he come down. He's like, what? I'm like, I just pointed. I was like, go over there. I was like, I ain't walking over there. I'm gonna pass out.
I'm telling you, I don't do well with that shit. I might have, done better back in the day, but oh my god, dude, like people missing fingers, even people that are missing fingers that have healed injuries, I can foresee it happening. I just have a really good visual fucking imagination, I guess, dude. Like we met somebody that lost a couple, like half of their hand in a car accident, and it's like, you're the strongest person I've ever met, because I would have looked at that and I'd have just died. My will would have shut down. If I'm missing an extremity, fucking count me out. I ain't fucking not going forward like that. I don't think so.
Yeah, the only thing I've really done is I've smashed my fingers. I smashed this one to the point where it was flat like a pancake. I had to go to the hospital, and they're like, "Yeah, she's broken." I'm like, "You don't think?"
And it comes back, huh? I mean,
Oh yeah, it took like 3 years for my nail to finally grow back, but it's like lumped up, so
yeah,
it's so hard to cut with clippers. I've
weird.
smashed like
Yeah, I
every
mean, I guess,
finger.
yeah, you're fucking adapting. You're slightly deformed.
I've
Like,
smashed every
you know,
finger.
I'm all good. I'm gonna knock on some wood. I don't lose any fingers today or anything. I'm gonna just stay home. Yeah, like I get even fucking nervous, like running the circular saw and shit sometimes. Like I remember, I don't know how old I was when I first heard the story, but my dad, he worked in the woods his whole life, worked in sawmills and stuff. Well, he put a chainsaw through a tree and then into his leg,
Oh,
and then drove himself to the hospital. You know what I mean? Like he's got a fucking gash in his leg, like
holy.
quarter-inch thick and probably 6 or 7 inches long from a fucking chainsaw. Like I was like, oh my god, that would have been the end of me right there.
Yeah,
Nope.
I'd have been like, "Yep, this is where I die."
Yeah, but he's just born different, dude. He's just a fucking different human being. He's done all kinds of crazy shit to himself and just kept on rolling. He was working on a tractor up in the field, and he's just unconnected from the world too. Like he doesn't walk around with a cell phone attached to him like most of us. So like when something happens to him, he's usually by himself. Like he was working on a farm tractor one time, and it was probably just up, with a single jack or something. Again, he's by himself, like, and it fell off the fucking jack or the blocks, and the
Phew.
axle went into his jaw, broke his jaw. I'm pretty sure it went through his cheek, but shattered his whole jaw. And he
Ow.
literally, like, that happened. He got up, and I think he was pinned for a moment. I'd love to have him come on and tell some of these stories, but I'm pretty sure, like, he got himself out from underneath the tractor, stopped and put all the chickens away because they work on a farm. He put all the chickens away, made sure they were all good, then went down and told my mom what happened, and then debated about going to the hospital. Ended up not going to the hospital. Never even, like, because they would have had to, like, wire his jaw shut. He's like, well, fuck that. I'm not going to be eating through a tube and eating applesauce and shit. So he just did this for fucking 6 months. Just didn't fucking move. Oh yeah, fuck it. It's always bitching like this. Yeah, fuck it. Like he's the toughest motherfucker I've ever met in my fucking life. It's unbelievable. Like never. I'm pretty sure he never went to the fucking hospital for that.
That's
Like,
crazy.
it's just unreal, man. Some people are just born to survive. Yeah, they're good people. So sawmill, man, 6 years. Yeah. I didn't get any talking points or anything like that. You got anything else you want to fucking? You want to mention? I kind of hit a fucking dead space there.
Well, I mean,
Let up.
funny story. My dad rode a pig a couple years ago.
He rode a pig, like physically rode it.
Yeah, he had a little bit of the moonshine in
That
his
always helps.
system, and there was pigs where they were. I don't exactly know what it was. I think it was a get together for somebody or whatever. And he hopped on this pig, and it's like big 300-pound pig, and he hops on the back of it, and it throws him off and starts running at him. Well, he cut the main artery in his finger right here,
Oh.
and just duct taped it,
Nah.
and kept drinking and hanging out
See?
with all them guys. Well, he lived like 3 hours away and was in Emporium when he hit Emporium, and he was literally unconscious. They life flighted him, and he was like 10 minutes from death from a pig.
Holy fuck!
And I told him, I said, I'd have put in your obituary death from a pig.
Just
He's
my
like, of
pig.
course you would have. I'm like, well, you rode a pig, and the pig almost killed you. So
Jeez.
we could have put death by pig.
See how quick something fucking stupid could turn into something deadly? Man, a couple guys, a little bit of fucking moonshine, and a pig. What's the
Yeah.
worst that could happen?
And he jokes about it to this day. Like, if everybody jokes around saying they're going to go ride a pig, he's like, hey, I've done it. It ain't that bad. I'm like, it must have been pretty bad if you got life flighted from riding a pig.
Well, it's like one of those things, like, just the right place for a cut too. Like, I mean, you talk
Yeah.
about like the jugular or like your Achilles heel, stuff like that. I mean, like just a couple fucking places, couple weak points in the human body, like
Oh, yeah.
end you real fucking quick. Yeah, I've never wrestled a pig. Uh, I mean, I've been to places where they've had like, where they chase the pig and try to catch it, or maybe they try to lasso it. I mean, I've been in some redneck fucking showdowns, like sanctioned events, probably. I'm sure.
Right.
Sure, it was all legal.
I just read this article about this lady that was at some other country swimming with pigs.
Swimming with
Like,
pigs?
wanting baby pigs and like
God. See, and I think we're fucking weird.
Well, listen. She went home. She started like getting abrasions, like swollen lips. Her eye was all red. Every time she would swallow or eat something, it felt like stuff was inside her moving. Well, come to find out, she had parasites all through her body, and she got tested, and it's like worms. She was dying.
But from
6
the
years she
water or
went
from
through
the
this.
pigs, I wonder.
6 years she
I
went
mean-
through this, and no doctor could tell her what happened.
Because, I mean, pigs, on the surface are dirty, but that doesn't mean that they're necessarily carrying bacteria and viruses and stuff. That might have just been from the fucking water.
No, it's from the pigs. They have a parasite from pigs.
And that's why I just eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're eating these things. Like,
But you cook it, though, I would think. I mean, obviously, that's got to do something to it. There's a lot of preservatives into it, but swimming with the pigs, that's a whole new one. See, maybe that would have been a little bit
You're
safer.
going to have to tell him he's got to try that.
Oh, maybe.
We don't even have a poll.
Tell him we'll go kidnap somebody's
Man
pig
in
and take him to the
crick with pig.
Seeing that on the news.
I can see the fucking headline now. We'll be out there covering it live.
Yeah, right.
Gee golly, I can't believe what we're seeing here out. This is live from the Allegheny River. Man and his pig. It turns out he's riding the pig while the pig swims. It's quite the show here. Should be selling tickets to this. Oh, I don't know. It's not on.
It's class. It's on,
Is
actually.
this thing on?
It's on.
Man, I mean, that's just one of those things too. I mean, how many people can say that they've done that? It's probably. I mean, there might be events. There might be pig racing.
That'd be awesome.
For all we know, if they can race fucking lawnmowers and all kinds of stuff, I mean, they could surely race a
I
pig.
told him of all things. I said, "Why'd you pick a pig?" He's like, "Wasn't there a cow?" I'm like, "That'd have been more practical."
Some people like a lowrider as opposed to something with a lift kit.
Well, I mean, he is 6'8".
Oh my god, poor
Yeah.
now PETA's gonna be all over this poor pig. But pigs, though, in all seriousness, you don't think about it until you've been like on a real farm. Pigs are fucking huge.
Yeah.
So I mean, as you get into like the pig and the hog family, I mean, some of these things would really fuck you up if they really wanted to. I mean, like, you're talking 300 pounds. I'm not 300 pounds. You're probably not 300 pounds.
No.
Like, if that thing really wanted to have its way with you,
Oh, it would.
yeah, you probably wouldn't have much to say about it. And, like, you figure, like, they always, joke about it, but, like, they say, like, if you have a dead body, throw it to the pigs because it'll just eat the bone.
Yeah.
Well, it'll eat bone and everything, I think, right?
That I've heard
Won't
that.
it eat everything?
Yeah.
I mean, so, like, it'll not only kill you, but it'll just fucking eat and shit you out. You'll be pig's mud in a couple weeks. It's quite a creature.
Perfect way to hide a body.
It's like redneck alligator.
Instead of green, it's pink.
That's what draws you in. Boy, that thing is pretty. Big old plump pig thing. Curly Q on the ass.
Start calling him Chompy.
Chompy. Stay away from the dick now. Man, grinder. That's a whole new thing. Man, don't fuck with animals.
Yeah,
Monkeys are another one too. People think they're real cute. People want monkeys. They will fucking kill you.
you know,
what
I've
I mean?
never seen a monkey.
Like a real one? Like,
Yeah,
you've
I've
never not
seen
at the
one.
zoo or nothing?
Nope.
Really? Let's get this man to the zoo. I'm serious, dude. I mean, like, we're monkeys, so it's really fascinating to look at monkeys and think, like, fuck, we're not that far off when you really look at them and how they behave. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like, aside from wearing pants and, not jerking off in public, it's like, we're fucking pretty much monkeys, dude. Like, that's it. They've actually seen now that a particular species, I can't remember what it is, but a particular species of monkeys right now has actually entered the Stone Age. And that's like, we're witnessing evolution in real time, that they've actually now discovered how to use tools to catch, bugs, for food and stuff. Like, they're actually manufacturing fucking tools and using that to make it easier for them to get up into a tree and get their, whatever they eat, bugs or whatever the fuck's in the tree. But like, the thought process is like, oh my God, I can't reach it. I'm going to use this to reach it. That's essentially, the first step in starting to use tools. And, it's like, it's kind of crazy. And like, they'll actually have, like, shown that these monkeys, like, will actually lie to the other monkeys. Like, so, they have a particular sound that they make whenever there's a predator or whether it's a hawk or, something that's flying over, so danger, danger, and all the monkeys hide. So, like, there's, a group of monkeys that whenever they, want the food or whatever, they'll fake the danger call, essentially, to get all the other monkeys to fucking run away so that they can get all the shit. It's like, and again, it's like, it's silly, but like, they're fucking monkeys, they're animals. Like, if we seen dogs doing this, we'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. Even cats are like, that we attribute to being really intelligent. It's like, well, cats don't like lie to each other that we know. Like, it's fucking weird, So I mean, a couple thousand years, those fucking monkeys might be on fucking iPads.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, if
They'll
you
be
gave
the
that monkey an
president.
iPad, I guarantee he could figure it out.
Oh,
You know what I
sure.
mean? Our fucking 15-month-old baby wasn't taught anything about Apple and apps and downloading shit, and she knows how to run a fucking iPad and YouTube. It's like, I mean, it's primal, essentially. I mean, you
Just
fucking
push
boop, boop,
buttons until
you
stuff
figure it
works.
out. This does what I want, and I like what this does. It's like, it's honestly pretty fucking elementary when it comes down to it. Like, I wonder if anybody's done that. They've probably done that, giving fucking apes fucking iPhones.
Like,
sort of humanitarian effort. iPhones for apes.
probably like
It'd be a new
middle-aged
movie.
apes.
Maybe in labs or something like that. Steve
See.
Jobs probably gave his monkey one.
Instead of Planet of the Apes, it'll be Apes of the iPhone.
Yeah, apes of the apple, apple of the apes.
They'll be invading the Apple.
I'm telling you, dude, that's
Warehouse.
probably who's commenting on all this shit on Facebook. Fucking apes, man. You think it's bots, but really it's just a bunch of fucking apes with a fucking agenda. Sitting in a lab somewhere with a Wi-Fi.
It's just monkeys slamming their freaking fingers on.
They say it's theoretically fucking or scientifically proven that if you give, whatever, so many odd apes, you'd have to fucking look up the data, but like so many odd apes, typewriters in a room in endless time, somebody's gonna punch out Shakespeare, or the Bible or whatever the incredible work of art, but like I don't know how, like I said, like I'm not intelligent enough to have the fucking breakdown, but like apparently just by random strokes of key, eventually somebody's gonna punch out
Something.
Shakespeare. You know what I mean? I guess. I mean, like through a simulation, you can just run it endlessly. So I mean, like that's essentially what we are, though. See, this is what scares me. This is what we are. I always talk about we're in a simulation. We're the monkeys. We're testing all the stupid technology, figuring out how to advance it, make it better to create an AI that will fucking get us off the planet and onto the next thing to drop our fucking Johnny Appleseed there and start the whole process all over again. I mean,
Right.
it's fucking kind of a trip, like we talk about it just like that. I mean, eventually these stupid monkeys are going to come up with some advanced technology and they're going to be able to fucking,
Yeah, they're gonna figure out how we can walk in space.
I'm telling you, dude. I mean, fucking Katy Perry's an astronaut now, dude. So, like, if she can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck, she's not an astronaut. She had 14 hours of training.
Oh, wow.
That's it to go into
That's
space.
somebody I'd trust.
I mean, she wasn't flying the thing. She wasn't doing any, This is one point that I like to, bring up is everybody's criticizing it. I'm sure you've seen on the internet. Everybody's fucking, against it. I was really surprised. I thought they were going to, be all for it. But they didn't go up there to, run any tests or anything. It was a scenic fucking trip. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
it was literally just to show that they can take regular people like you and me up to space. That's the whole thing. Jeff Bezos wants to commercialize space. Like I was saying, I don't think I said it on a podcast, but that's gonna be like the amusement parks of the future.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to the moon this weekend. If I got roll a couple fucking joints, let's go. It's a
Right.
fucking 11-minute flight. It'll be all right. And like again, like they didn't have to wear a space helmet. They didn't have to wear any gear because again, that's where you want to be able to immerse the regular person into the thing. Imagine if
Right.
you had to wear a fucking space helmet on an airplane. You'd be like, well, fuck this. You know what I mean? Like, it would completely ruin the experience. You want to have a drink and you want to have, fucking TV in front of you. Like, give it a couple years, you'll be able to, have a cocktail on the fucking Blue Origin space pod. It's like that's what they want to do. And of course, it's for the rich right now, and it'll probably always be for the really, really rich. But like, they want to get it down to where it's just as affordable as flying across the country. And maybe they'll just shoot us out of a giant cock rocket in Pennsylvania, and our pod will land in California. Maybe it'll only
Right.
take 15 minutes. shoot us into fucking LA for the night, you know, ejaculate all over the city and come back, you know. Like, that's the whole fucking dream, you know. Blue Ball's origin, you know. You never actually climax, you just feel like it, you know, for a minute.
You just go really high in the air and then you just drop.
Especially if you're like, hey, instead of a plane, you know, and having to sit next to all these, maybe just 6 of us go in a pod and we get to experience 4 minutes of zero gravity, go up there and, you know, I mean, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
That'd be way more fun than a plane. Yeah, I don't like to fly, so I probably wouldn't do it anyway. But
Oh,
you
I
know,
hate
the thought of
flying.
it. Have you been on a plane?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
hate
it's
it.
like it's nauseating, honestly. You know, but I just don't trust the person flying it, honestly. You know, maybe if it was all predetermined, you know,
Yeah.
because again, most of these are like just oversized drones at this point. You know, with even with like what Musk is sending up and bringing back, it's all
Yeah.
fucking self-propelled. There's nobody like in there fucking steering it. You know, so realistically, I'd probably trust that because, like, I watch enough air disasters and shit like that to know that, like, at least 80%, that's probably a modest number, 80% of plane crashes are pilot error, human error. You know what I mean? It's not usually the plane malfunctioning in any way. It's usually the
Right.
guy fucking flying it, you know? So it's like, realistically, you know, you take the human out of it, you know, because most of that flight is automated anyway. It's autopilot pretty much the whole trip. They just have to take off and land.
Yeah.
You know, which most planes do that automatically now anyway. But but yeah, where'd you fly to?
Florida.
Oh, okay. Sorry to hear that. You know.
Yeah.
Florida's cool, but like it's sticky, man. You know, where'd you go?
It was when I was real young. We went to Disney. I got to fly down there and then
Cool.
got picked up in a limo.
Oh no shit. How old were you?
I think it was like 5 or 6.
Oh, do you remember some of it though?
Yeah, bits and pieces. I remember staying in one of the hotels and it had like a hot tub and jacuzzi in the hotel room.
So like you stayed like right because I know Disney has like you can stay on
Yeah.
in Disney. You
Yeah,
know.
we stayed in Disney.
Wow, that's fucking wild. And that's Disney World, right, in Florida, not Disneyland. Because Disney World's the bigger one. Disneyland's, I think, is the smaller one. Because I think there's only a Disney World in California and in Florida.
Yeah.
Because we were on
Yeah.
our way
Yeah,
to
it's the
Florida
big
when
one,
we
I
broke
think.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been there. I went to the one in California, but never like more than just the in and out. Literally, me and the homies literally just fucking rode through it. You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
didn't even
Halfway
fucking do
there.
anything. But halfway there.
Yeah.
Cue the Bon Jovi.
Well, my grandma's Bronco broke down on the way there.
Oh no
Ooh.
shit!
Yeah, it
How
sucked.
interesting is that?
Yeah.
It's like the Bermuda Triangle driving to
We
fucking.
were all slammed in the Broncos.
Driving
We
to
like laying
Florida.
in the back. Like, it was
That's
fun.
awesome though, because that's
Yeah.
experience
It
though.
was a
Because
good
again,
experience.
you flew, you know, obviously everything smoothly to and from,
It was like 7.
but the trauma
Yeah.
of breaking down and being in sweltering heat of like Virginia, you know, and dying in
We were
South
young,
Carolina.
Yeah.
Because like I actually have a very similar story. My uncle John lived in Florida my entire life until I was in my late 20s. So we would always go down there. And we didn't fucking fly. We always drove. It was, you know, like I said, fucking 90s. So, I mean, everybody drove. And they had a fucking Volkswagen Beetle.
Ooh.
Original Volkswagen Beetle. And, like, if you've never been in one, you don't realize, but those things were actually airtight. So when you close the door, your ears pop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they were actually so compressed. Little bubble. So it was like my grandpa, my grandma, me, and my brother all the way to fucking Florida from PA.
Oh my God.
And like that thing, man, like I mean, we had everything obviously for the whole trip, the whole time down there, all our fucking luggage in this little fucking Super Beetle, and of course it's all in the trunk in the front,
Yeah.
motors in the back, you know, which is crazy too because the back seats are really fucking hot because the fucking motor's right here. Poor design. But
Yeah.
so we broke down in like it was either West Virginia or South Carolina or something like that, and we fucking met Clem. And I remember this. I probably wasn't much older than you. Probably like maybe I wasn't even probably 10. But we met this guy Clem, and oh my God, he was the nicest guy, but he was senile as fuck, dude. He was like older than my grandparents. So like, I mean, he's trying to help us out, like because the car was overheating, we were broke down, we had to sleep in the car and all this shit. And like he's fucking there. It's like dark at this point. And he starts freaking out. The car's on fire! The car's on fire! Here, my grandma was just smoking a cigarette, looking under the hood. You know what I mean? Like, He fucking had everybody woke up, flipping out. Like, my grandma was just standing there outside the car smoking, and he starts fucking flipping out that the car was on fire. This fucking nut job. They actually kept in contact with him for years, like Christmas cards and everything, because that's what you used to do back in the day. You know, but literally we like, you know, barely made it there. You know, we ended up getting to Florida at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and like we went swimming in my Uncle John's pool. I mean, it was amazing because again, like, yeah, we could have went and it would have been smooth. We would have been happy, all that shit, but like, you earned it. You fucking didn't even know you were gonna make it. You
There's
know what I mean?
always
We're
a
like,
fuck up when you're getting going.
you know,
good.
it's just like, but that's what makes it so fun. Like, we literally slept at a Waffle House. I had this little fucking, we were obsessed with anchors and boat anchors. I've always been obsessed with ships and shit. I had a little boat anchors that we got, little keychains, and we actually lost them at a fucking Waffle House. Probably still there, under the lamppost in West Virginia. Oh, it was devastating. But yeah, just, you know, that whole experience, you know, because we didn't even know if we were going to fucking make it, you know, like we finally ended up making it and going swimming at 2 o'clock in the morning, which, you know, was unheard of. Yeah, it was fucking sweet, man. It was actually really cool. So like in those cases, I would encourage anybody, always drive. Even if, you know, like car might not fucking make it, you know, it's a life experience, you know, like fuck it, you know.
Yeah, I've flown a lot, but I also drove a lot more.
Yeah, it's always more fun to see everything on the way too, and everywhere you stop is something different, you know. So it's like just a lot more experience than flying over stuff.
That's like that was the only time I've flown. Like I lived in Arkansas for like 3 years.
Holy
and
hell, what's that like? I've never been in that
It's
state.
hot.
Really?
Hot. Like 7 in the morning, it's 103 degrees.
Holy shit! But
yeah.
dry heat, like at least
yeah, it's
no,
hot.
yeah, no humidity at least, but still just fucking scorching.
Tornadoes out the ass. Every time it rains, there's
It's just
always
flat
a
out there,
tornado.
huh? No shit.
Yeah.
Man.
Me and my dad were sitting out on the front porch. He was drinking because I wasn't of age at the time. I was drinking some Kool-Aid, and we watched this lightning strike this tree right across the road. Literally, we watched the tree light on fire and everything. He's like,
holy shit.
Should we call somebody? I'm like, well, there's nothing around it. It's literally in an open field of dirt.
Right.
I'm like, if it catches something on fire, we're going to be Houdini because there's nothing near it.
That's funny that you weren't even like, you're like, we ain't calling nobody. Who you gonna, like, what would be the point?
So we just sat there and we're like watching it burn. Just watching it burn. And my stepmom pulls in. She's like, what are you guys doing? He's like, we're investigating. Leave us alone. And we're just sitting there watching this tree, and then it slowly falls.
See that?
We're investigating.
And then the neighbor comes over, and he's like, did you guys see that tree get hit with lightning? He's like, no, we haven't been sitting out here for 2 hours watching it.
That's fucking amazing, man. Oh. See, and you just don't see that kind of stuff in the fucking city, in town. Yeah, I mean, actually, we were talking about that briefly the other day, just about, you know, living in the country and stuff. I mean, we both lived out in the middle of nowhere, and it's a lot more peaceful because stuff like that, you don't even sweat it, dude. I mean, like, but I just mean like something like literally just let it burn. You know what I mean? Just that mentality, like, hey, fuck it. You know, in town, something fucking burning, like everybody's on the fucking horn. You know, like everybody's gonna be there.
On Facebook. What's going on?
No, let it burn. Yeah, like I just like that mentality. You know, like I mean, being in town has its benefits, especially with all the stuff that, you know, we got going on. But you know, if you have the opportunity, get property out in the middle of fucking nowhere and escape. You know, because that's really what it's about.
My gram did. She lived like, I think it was like 7 miles out of town in a log cabin.
No shit.
Never really came to town.
See, that's
she needed stuff.
That's how old are you?
23.
23. You got, you know, I mean, like you figure like, I hope to like maybe by like 40 have something like that, like just the escape, and that's where, like I said, like you don't need much, you know, probably just single level, you know, log cabin. I'm even talking about shipping container even would be good.
Hey, I've seen some people build some of that stuff.
Dude.
There's a guy up in New York, literally has a YouTube channel, and he literally made a castle out of shipping containers.
Man, it's impressive. It's just, yeah, it's like building with fucking blocks. It's like building with Legos almost, you know, as long as you figure out, like, I mean, cutting the windows and stuff out, doorways, fairly easy. Insulating it even pretty easy now. Like, I did the van life thing for a couple years, so, like, I learned, like, with that spray foam insulation even, pretty good stuff, because, like, you wouldn't want to use that thick insulation. You only got so much room. But, like, that's the thing. You can open them up and make, you know, big fucking doorways, big rooms. You've seen people stack them. You know, I've even thought like burying one, you know, and having like a
Make
bunker.
a bunker.
Yeah, I
That'd
mean
be
that's
sweet.
where it's at, dude. You know, and just fucking stock it full, man. You know, like yeah, because really what it comes down to is owning a piece of property. I don't care if it's a blank slate with shit on it, like, because you almost
Yeah.
like just need that something in the middle of nowhere, something that nobody wants. You know,
Yeah.
nobody, you know,
They hold their value no matter if there's something on it or not. You can still make money off of it.
for real. Well, and that's why it's so hard to get too, because unfortunately they're not making any more fucking property. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
only less and less land every fucking minute. You know, so it's like you
Get it while
find
you
something
can.
that's for sale, get it while you can, right? Even if it's like I said, like
Right.
nothing. You know, you can make something out of it. You know, I don't care if I pitch a tent on it.
Well,
You
that's
know,
like I was looking on Amazon the other day, and they have literally pop-up houses on Amazon.
what?
You can buy a full-blown pop-up house on Amazon for 10,000.
That's wild though. I mean, like, I looked years ago. They had like prefabbed Hobbit houses.
Yeah, I've
You
seen
know,
those too.
and I'm sure the shipping is atrocious because it's one
It's
solid
probably
piece.
coming in on a semi too.
Right. You know, and you'd probably need like 3 or 4 of them to get started and be comfortable. Because I mean, I don't know how big I've never seen like relative size to a human or
Right.
someone inside of them. But like the idea that you could, I've seen people like put them like against a bank or a hillside, and then you just bury them. Essentially, you put dirt on top of them and then grow grass on top of them, and then that also insulates it
Right.
and keeps it cool in the summer and shit. Like, I mean, it's kind of a fucking dream. Like, and I think they're only a couple $1,000s per pod, you know. But if you figure like, go fucking look at a listing for a house right now. I mean, 50, 60 to $100,000 for a house. Like, I know my mom and dad, they lucked out with a piece of property, but this property that they bought was literally 3 generations of people treating it like it was a landfill. You know, and
Phew.
like to the point where like if you opened a candy wrapper or a candy bar, everything that they fucking every piece of trash just got thrown to the ground. It's like how do you live like that? And it was the entire property and the entire way through the house. I mean, just I'm talking feet of just trash and
Horror.
garbage. I mean, on the most extensive level, you know what I mean, to the point where like you're not even keeping anything of value. It's just trash, and like I mean, like because it's like one thing of like, oh, I have a collection of remotes. I have 5,000 remotes, you know, like, but
What are you gonna do
it's
with
just
all those?
trash, you know, and just garbage, you know. So it's like they got this property for very 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 cheap, you know. But my dad is, I mean, like I explained to you about his toughness, but he's the same way with his work ethic. He just has no quit. You know, so like I mean, in a couple years, he turned that property, and I'm talking like with a fine tooth comb, raking that property down to clean soil, and have gotten everything off of that property, and it's flourished green, beautiful grass. I mean, like now it's an immaculate piece of property, and they've
Yeah.
probably increased the value of the property tenfold. Even if there was nothing on it, it could just be a bare piece of grass. But the fact that there's grass growing there now, I mean, people that lived in that area for decades have been like, oh my God, that literally was a landfill. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Less than a decade ago. And now it's actually like you could grow something there, you know? So it's just even something like that. You find something that's like that, that's, you know, needs a little bit of work or a lot of work, change the fucking value of it real quick, you know, and turn it into something that, you know, I mean, that's what I mean. Like, who
Turn it
knows?
into
My
a
fucking
profit.
kid might be living on that property someday. You just never know. You know, it's like, you know, to have that kind of hindsight when you're young,
Yeah.
start looking for a piece of land, even if it's, I mean, 1 acre. Fuck, dude. Like,
An acre's an acre. You can do a lot with an acre of land.
especially when you think about, you know, maybe you can go deep too. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I would love to have a bunker, you know.
That's like the one house my dad owned out in Arkansas. It had a storm shelter, aka a bunker thing.
like pre-existing.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like a tornado shelter type
oh,
thing.
no way.
But it looked like a bunker. It was just a
Right.
door standing
Essentially
up
the same
top.
thing, yeah.
And when you
Wow.
walked down in there, it was solid concrete. And I was like, well, this looks like prison. He's like, I've been there. I don't think that's prison. I'm like, well, I
But
mean,
boy, I didn't think about that. I just need to find an old house, like, because I mean, I'm sure, like during World War II and all that, they probably had like nuclear bomb shelters in homes
yeah.
and stuff like that. I mean, like, interesting. I mean, I didn't even think about tornado shelters and stuff. That they probably thought about that kind of stuff where you're at. Well, those are, you know, pretty immaculate. I love these big fucking windows and shit,
Yeah.
dude. Holy hell.
You'd have to know the cutout. right? Like for levels, you'd have to know where to cut it out.
Well,
to
like
go
I said,
in
if you
to go
think
up.
about it in the most basic form, like if you're just talking about blocks, I'm like, well, okay, like if I'm going to connect this one to this one, there's got to be an entryway, and
Yeah.
where the overlap would be. Because what's interesting is if you start like, I mean, how they have like the overhang like that. Obviously, you just got to cut a hole in the bottom of it and make steps. But boy, I mean, like I said, obviously there's just cutting out windows. I mean, like you might not even need glass for those. You'd probably even be able to just do like a big
Definitely
piece of
don't think I'd
plexiglass.
trust that one
acrylic.
because it's not having anything holding it.
I don't see any stilts, but this is all a steel shipping container. This thing might be fucking. Go back up. This thing might be completely lagged into that other one.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And pinched on the end. I'm sure that it's secure. Like I would imagine. Like I love the U-shaped one down there. That thing
That's
was fucking cool. And that's what I think would be the most fun about it, is that like the layout. You can do essentially anything.
Yeah.
Because
they make them at any size. You can get real long ones, real small ones.
I've never seen anybody take one and stand it up.
That would be
Do a
be
fucking
sweet.
staircase inside of it, doing a fucking turn up top. Saber dot.
Start sniping people.
Just sniping rabbits, to eat,
Cop shows up. What are you doing up there? I'm hunting rabbits.
My wife, get off my land. Could have said your wife. Trying to be respectful. But seriously, like, put in shipping container castle. Because, like, when you said castle, that's what I pictured, is that, like, he would have had to maybe...
He stood him straight up
Yeah,
like
because
that.
you got a corner on one, dude, I'm telling you. Because I like the geometric look, too, that it's all square, it's all boxy, you figure, like... But what's weird to me is there's no pitch on the roof.
No.
Some of them have just a one slope, but a lot of those are flat on top.
And flat roofs aren't good because they hold water.
Right, I would imagine, too, that if I was going to do it for sure, I would imagine a lot of these are solar panel whole roof. That's
right.
The only way to go. But yeah, it's weird that they do a flat fucking roof.
That one does not look like a shipping container, but I mean...
I bet it is. It looks like it's just two stacked long, and then obviously you could side it or face it however you want,
Right.
Oh, there's
right
one
there.
Straight up.
Those first two
that's
are the
it.
guys that I watch. Yeah, he built that out of containers.
Man, how fucking fun.
At his property. He literally
That's it
made
down there too, then.
Yeah.
Wow. That one looks like it's made out of cardboard, but... yeah, they could have done better with the design on that one, but man, how cool.
Yeah.
Not what I expected at all, dude. That is...
Literally, he has the YouTube video of him making it. And I watched it because my cousin sent it to me. He's like, watch this. And I watched it. I was like, now that's some creativity there.
one on the far right.
Yeah, that one's
yeah.
sweet.
Man, see, that's probably a garage right
Boy,
there
if
underneath
that says
too.
3.6 million, I'd hate to pay that.
But see, I just fucking priced it the other day. I mean, you can get a shipping container for like $3 or $4 grand.
That's actually pretty cheap.
Well, again, we looked at like a modular prefab, whatever, Amazon modular home, 10 grand. One of those Hobbit things were probably between 5 and 10 grand. They were pretty expensive because it's like a fucking, I don't know if they're 3D print them or what, but
Look at that one.
wow. See, I love the fucking the crow's nest or whatever you want to call it up there. Man.
Some people do some crazy shit with them, and then.
Well, and it's like, so again, like, so for the same 10 grand, you could have, 3 of them almost, 3 or 4 of them, and what's cool is, I mean, I'm going to put on an addition.
Right.
I mean, one more container, fucking, like I said, it's literally like Legos.
Start stacking them.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, like, fuck, I'd even like to see somebody, like, make a wall out of it. You know what I mean? Like, imagine a castle wall around your property, but you could be inside the wall, too, with stairways and openings.
With a turret.
I'm telling you, we're making a motherfucking compound. We're ready for the world to end.
There's a purge that happens, bro. I'll be up there in sniper
Seriously. And we're going to have a fucking moat. Don't you worry. I want a moat.
I bought stuff for, like, water purifying tablets, like the food package. I already have some.
See, the problem is, and if my buddy Brian was here, he would tell you, he's like, well, all you got to do a lot of electricity. Well, I see we could do solar. So we wouldn't need fuel. Don't need gas. What will we feed? What's going to be in the moat? Something's going to have to be deadly in the moat.
Gator.
Gator.
A pig. Put a pig in there.
A flying. They are fucking deadly. It's just a mode of fucking pigs.
Oh, look
Shit.
at that one.
It's a white one?
The
Whoa.
orange, red.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But see, that's a shipping container. But see, that's not even, it doesn't even look like a full container. That's like you said, they have them in different sizes to where like, you do a small one.
Far right, too. Again.
Man.
Color.
That one looks like.
That one looks more like a shipping
That one looks like they took one single one, cut
container. Like, cut another
the
one.
chunk off of it, and then just stack that up on top of it. And see, that's where, like I said, getting creative with the layout. You know, if you could only afford one, you just, you know, I mean, you just bought essentially your home for $4,000, your whole foundation, your whole structure.
Definitely a tiny home.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I lived in a van. You know,
Yeah.
like I literally lived in a fucking Ford van. You know, it was all done up, solar panels. I had, you know, full electricity, Wi-Fi and shit in there. You know, I lived in there with my cat and shit. Yeah, it was a good time. You know, so I mean, like that's way more spacious than that. You know, and to have property and grass, I'd have a fucking whole trail set of BMX jumps around the fucking backyard. I'd have a fucking half pipe in the backyard.
I think it's funny if you look at recommended, it's shipping container fortress.
That's exactly what the fuck we're looking for. You could probably buy the fucking blueprints on fucking line too. That's the crazy thing about the fucking internet is that like literally like I'm like, well, I don't know how to make it. Somebody's done it already and somebody knows how to make it and I could just buy the plans. I could literally find a YouTube video and somebody says, okay, well here's step one. You know, it's like it's unbelievable the time that we're living in.
I see one for 17. That's
See, there's
crazy.
kind of like a pod right there, but $2,000. There's like, see, there's like it unfolds. That's what I seen.
Yeah.
Literally, like, could you imagine, like, boop, 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 boop.
Windstorm, the house just collapses.
Yeah. Oh my fucking god. Fuck, the way I sneeze, it might fucking collapse, dude.
And they're pretty expensive.
I mean, he said what? You said probably around 10
I'd seen
grand.
one on, like, when I looked it up on my phone,
Sure,
I
they
seen one for
fluctuate.
$9,000. And I was like, what?
Which, again, you probably couldn't even buy a smart car for $9,000.
No.
You know, to be honest, if you're looking at value and what you're getting, I mean, if you had a place to sit it, because that's the other thing too, you can't just, I can't just go sit this in town. You know. Well, I mean, there should be little lots now. You know, I mean, little pop lot. You know, like, hey, pop your fucking house up here. Rent a square.
It'd be like Sims.
It's kind of like that. It's, you know, you could probably decide the color and the interior and all that shit before you get it. You know, like it. And like now they'll be like, well, if you add on for an extra $14.99, we'll get you the bedroom package with it that matches your house.
Comes
I mean,
with
like
a fucking foam bed that expands over like 6 hours.
where's the toilet? Where's the toilet?
Oh yeah, right.
This damn house didn't come with a toilet.
Oh my god, I didn't see that part.
Time to build an outhouse.
Wow.
Just digs a trench and it just follows.
Order the pop-up outhouse extension. What do you mean you didn't get the deluxe kit? God damn it, I need somewhere to shit. Dude, this one right here is my shit right there. That black one, all fucking black.
Yeah, that's
Man.
nice.
Even that looks like it's got a little house on top of a fucking garage. And so you could have a little ladder up there, a little trampoline to get up. Zip line to get
put a
down.
trampoline on the roof. What are you doing? I'm up here bouncing.
What the fuck that look like? You see lightning hit that tree? Well, hell yeah, I'm on the roof. What do you think?
I'm up here surveilling.
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't.
No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but...
Fucking Joe Biden. What time do you start work?
I go in at like 3 in the morning.
Really? For
Yeah.
what?
Overtime.
Okay, so what do you do at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning in there?
I help the killing department out.
Oh,
and,
right. They're burning. They don't go all night, do they?
We have one guy that's on second. He just turned 21.
Okay.
And he came to second because he got in a little bit of trouble. I'm not gonna say because it was pretty bad. He got into some trouble, so he's decided that he wanted to stay on second because he's better that way. So he stays on second. He runs the second shift killing department.
Cool.
By himself, which is impressive.
I was gonna
because
say that's
usually
not
it's
normal,
like
right?
3 or
I mean,
4 people.
Yeah, right. And for anybody that doesn't know, so like whenever wood is cut green, it has to be dried, right? Am I right about that? So
Yeah.
obviously they put it in essentially a big oven to dry it, you know, and then it comes out like, and then it goes on the dry line, right?
Yep.
So like, Yeah, that's pretty wild. They're big fucking ovens. You know, what I
Oh
mean, like
yeah, they're hot in there too.
how many fucking packs high do you think that thing is? Like, at least the one at Matson's, I know. Like, I mean, that fucking. I'd like to come out and fucking see it sometime, even just a drive by, just because again, like the only one that
Well,
I know is
if you
Matson's.
come down there and you walk into the office and you tell them you want a tour, they'll have the boss come out and he'll walk you through the whole mill.
No shit, dude. That would be cool, especially because again, like, this is just dabbling, because you could have a really in depth conversation about it with Brian, and same thing. Like he wants to start doing this show. It would be
Right.
cool if he was going to come up. We could come out because he wants to, again, talk to people who are in the industry, and like he's actually looking to invest in a little camera right now just to get some footage of his mill and just get some stuff. And he's a cool dude. He rides motorcycles and shit, dude. Like he wants to come up. You ever ride motorcycles? He would love to come up and walk around another mill and talk to dudes and shit. Like that would be really cool.
I think we own every sawmill around here. We own one in Bradford and Kane. Well, we just bought the Bradford one.
Oh, really?
We didn't own the Bradford one. We bought the Bradford one like last year.
Oh, wow. Can you say the name of your outfit? Who do you work for?
Emporium Hardwoods Rossi Group.
Okay, and they got a pretty big fucking operation. If they
Yeah,
got multiple locations.
he's pretty big. He's got a lot of money.
Well, that's how we felt with Matson's, but then there was also like BWP down there. There was a couple different families, Brownlee and all that,
Yeah.
that were big names in the lumber stuff. So like coming up here, I'm completely unfamiliar with this landscape because I didn't even know there was a sawmill around here. So that's pretty cool. So like I mean, if that's one place, like especially like it's not like you're coming in and saying, we want to know what you're doing. It's more like it's cool, what you're doing. We want to fucking kind of show other people what you're doing. He might be interested in maybe, even
Yeah.
talking about it on Brian's podcast about what they're doing and about operations and stuff. Because that's, like I said, something that's interesting to me, and it's a big thing in Pennsylvania. And a lot of people that I know, from the West Coast and California are like anti-deforestation. They, don't think you should cut down any trees, and it's like you don't
Oh, yeah.
realize like what are you gonna sit on? You know what I mean? Like you need paper, you need fucking to be able to cut down trees. Plus, just deforestation is just good health for the environment. It's good to cut down the waste, and again, everything that's cut down is used. Literally every piece of that fucking tree is used for something.
Yeah, little do the people know that don't like it. You're using it regardless.
Right, that's what I mean. Like you're sitting at a table, you got a shelf, you got a book, anything. Like literally everything that you use comes from a tree, and it's like, what
Right.
do you want to just ignore a completely abundant resource that's staring us in the face? Like, and I also, think it's ridiculous when people act like we're gonna be able to cut down enough trees to like affect the environment. Like I believe
Yeah.
like we're pretty much ants on this fucking planet, man. Like I mean, I don't think that we can cut down enough trees to really affect anything.
Yeah, that mill just got rebuilt in I want to say 2018, 2018, 2017, somewhere in there, because it caught on fire,
Holy shit.
burnt to the ground, and
Is that from like the kiln or?
no, somebody was in there and lit a cigarette,
Well,
lit
this
the
is something
building on
again. I
fire.
mean, I'm a smoker, but again, you don't smoke anywhere near the fucking shit because there's
Especially,
so much dry sawdust.
yeah,
Man, that's dangerous, dude. So go ahead. So someone was smoking in there.
yeah, lit the whole place on fire. My stepdad was sleeping. He had to go into work that day. And I walked downstairs and I woke my mom up. I'm like, hey, Hardwoods is on fire. And she's
Oh my
like,
God.
what? And she woke him up. She's like, Hardwoods is on fire. He jumped up, ran out of the house, went down to work. They ended up letting him work because it was on fire. He worked while they were rebuilding it. It took him 2 years to rebuild it.
Holy fuck.
And now we produce the most wood in Cameron County.
Wow.
Did they get caught?
Yeah.
I was
The
gonna say,
person got
like,
caught.
how accountable was the person that fucking did
He
it?
got in a lot of trouble.
Because like I said, that's pretty much like standard policy in any place that processes wood. You don't fucking have because even an ash, a little fucking ember could
Yeah.
set
It
the
was a
whole place.
couple $1 million worth of damage.
Oh my
Like that guy,
God.
he spent a lot to rebuild it. Like
That's
they
fucking.
have the second floor has I-beams, and on the I-beam it has the date that it was caught on fire and the date that they rebuilt it.
Wow, that's
Right in
awesome.
there.
And see, I mean, again, a terrible fucking accident, but now a part of that fucking company's history and come back even stronger. Like, I mean, that's the fucking American fucking dream there. Again, like, you're producing, material for everybody in this town, probably, how many miles of fucking coverage that they got as far
we
as
go
like
all
your
the way to
reach.
China.
It's unbelievable, like it really is, that this state supplies the world with fucking wood product, and like, again, so many people aren't even aware of it. They have no fucking clue. So again, huge plug for fucking Brian's show, because again, I had no idea that you even worked in a sawmill. So that's really cool, because again, like, he's been in it for his entire fucking life, so he literally, like, is born into it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting. I think so. Anyway, like I said, I don't know how many people that listen to this show, want to listen to it, but you can't live without it. There's literally, I mean, like, there's literally nothing you can do that doesn't come from a paper or wood product of some sort, and the fact that, like, that's something that, like, your state that you live in, whether you hate it or fucking love it, like, you're providing something for the rest of the world, like, that's something that you should be knowledgeable about and fucking be proud of, because it's,
There's literally 2 sawmills in Emporium. One's on the one end of town, one's all the way on the other end of town. But the one is literally a dimensional sawmill, so they cut stuff for the Amish.
Oh, yeah?
So they only have Amish clients, and they don't run like we do. We run 80 truckloads a day, like log truckloads.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we run like 100,000 feet. That place probably runs like 10.
Wow.
And there's like 13 people.
Wow, pretty small, small setup. But like you said, if they're only supplying the Amish, because I never actually thought about that. Like, I always just imagined that the Amish would probably have their own sawmills, which they probably do.
Some of them do.
But obviously, if you have something locally and, a small place like that, they just outsource it to cut it, which is, again, interesting that they're even allowed to do that, but, if they're not using any of the, because are they allowed to use certain equipment? I don't know, what the rule is on that, but that's pretty cool that they have all that cut for the Amish, because they probably keep them, pretty busy. I mean, I know it's not anywhere near the board feet that you guys are producing, but you're looking globally, or globally.
Yeah.
And it's weird. It doesn't even sound like a fucking real word.
Well, and the Amish even come to ours too.
Oh, do they?
Every once in a while, you'll look around and you'll see them just moseying by, and I'm like, okay. Then they'll occasionally just stand there as you're stacking, and they'll just stand there and watch you, and I'm like, this is awkward. This is awkward.
Wonder what they're thinking now.
I looked at my one buddy, because he handles snakes, like, all the time.
Real snakes?
Yeah, he has rattlesnakes as pets.
Fuck, oh my god. Well, I used to make drain snakes.
Oh my god.
I did. I used to work in a fucking place that made fucking drain snakes. I was a coiling fucking operator. People need to snake their drains. But anyway, rattlesnake fucking handling's a different fucking thing. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, he'll hold it like this as its face is right here in his, and he'll just hold it.
Jesus.
He'll kiss it. He'll let it crawl all over him.
But what the fuck's wrong with him?
Rattlesnake?
Is he fucking mental? I mean,
I tell him he's mental all the time.
That is insane.
He's had the one snake. His rattlesnake's name is Simon. He's had this snake forever, and he just does whatever with it. Like, he blew up on TikTok with that snake.
I mean, if
he
he's
went live
kissing it.
one time on TikTok, and he had over like 5,000 people in his live just watching that snake. And he'd tell him,
just waiting for it to fucking strike on him.
Right, they're watching every video just to see.
This guy's about to die any minute now. This thing's gonna turn on him, dude. So he had it obviously since it's a baby. It's,
he's got all kinds of them.
Impressive. I do a lot of things that people might think are dangerous and scary, but I don't fuck with snakes. I just don't like them.
He's pretty good with it. He just mated 2 of his snakes together, and he has like $1,500 worth of babies sitting there waiting.
Oh, so breeding them is a different ball game too. I mean, if you have the love for snakes and you're okay with them,
he's got the license to do it all. His brother,
that's wild.
His brother passed out, hit his head, and the ambulance team and all that had to go up there. They knew what was in that house, because that house is a red flag for the fire department. They're not allowed in it if it's on
I guess
fire.
it's just like if you have mean dogs or something, you gotta have a sign out, so they
Yeah.
gotta know that there's rattlesnakes in there.
It's a protocol in the fire department. If you have venomous stuff in your house, you just let it burn.
If I got any more of that, I ain't going there and get bit.
Holy shit.
But
Man.
the two guys work at the sawmill that went to that call for his brother, and they came back into the building and they looked at him and they're like, "Are you fucking mental?" And I was like, "What is going on?" And they're down there and he's just laughing, and they're like, "I about shit myself when I walked in that door. There's snakes everywhere. You turn a damn corner, there's a snake here, snake there, snake there." He's like, "I got over 40 of them, plus what's in my bedroom." I'm like,
Oh
"Dude,
my
you are
God.
nuts."
No fucking way.
He
How
tried
hard is
get-
it for him to get a date? Come on over to my place,
He's
babe.
got a woman.
I'm
He's
telling
got a
you though,
woman.
but
he's
like
taking some of his snakes to her house, and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck
Can I bring
you."
my snakes?
that is fucking crazy. Because people, I mean, like I've been around snakes, but like obviously we're talking not devenomized or
I
whatever
was
the
gonna
fuck.
say,
Oh,
they're
his are
not-
still venomous.
That's
They
what I
aren't
mean, that's-
devenomized.
That's a whole different fucking story. Because I've been around like corn snakes and like little boas and stuff that's real docile and shit. But like, no, I wouldn't even have had one. Like I've had people like, "Oh, you should get a snake for your tattoo shop." I said, "Yeah, that's just what I want. Make people nervous when they walk in and give people anxiety before I give them a tattoo." Like,
Right.
I don't
Check
think
this
that'll
out.
work. You know, because that's a common thing though. You see snakes in tattoo shops, and yeah,
Right.
it makes you look real cool. But dude, like, most people are pretty fucking worrisome of snakes, and like, that's even if they're in a glass box and you know they're not touching them and shit. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I had fish. I had fish tanks and shit. I had a hedgehog. Was probably the most interesting I ever had.
The most interesting thing I had was an iguana.
Those are all right.
A
You
5
could
foot-
take that around.
5-foot iguana.
Oh shit! 5 foot?
Yeah, he was big boy.
Not 5 inches.
I didn't know they
No,
got
he's
that
5
big.
foot. He was big
The
boy.
tail. Yeah.
We
Tail's
put
long.
we put him in his cage, and my dad went to feed him, and he did not like my dad. He'd tear my dad a new one.
They
With
say they
that
got
tail.
pretty fucking serious claws and
Oh,
shit
yeah.
too. I just don't like to touch them. It's a texture thing.
Mhm.
They're real rough and scaly and shit, so it's like not my thing. Reptiles just never really did it for me.
My dad went to feed him the one day, and he's like, "I know I'm gonna get my ass kicked." He had welding gloves on that come up to here, because he knew that lizard was gonna kick his ass, and he's like, "I'm gonna get my ass kicked. I'm getting my ass kicked by a lizard."
Oh my
And
god.
you'd see him stick his hand in there, whap, right upside the head. He's like, "Ow, whap, ow," and then the tail broke.
How
and their
heavy
tail-
was it? Oh wait, his
Oh,
tail
They
broke
break-
off?
They break.
Yeah, they break.
Oh,
real
that's
easy.
not a fucking.
Yeah.
No,
That's normal.
it'll grow back, but it
Yeah,
grows
it'll
back
grow
twice as fast.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes longer.
I work in a sawmill when it's like 80, 90
Yeah,
degrees.
even if you weren't, I mean, you got to be able to fucking breathe. You know,
Yeah.
you'd be festering some shit in there. You know, but I cut the whole shit out. I cut the whole side out
Well,
most
I
of the
would,
time,
but
all the way to the band.
We're not allowed to do that anymore at work because the one kid got it to where we're not allowed to. It can't be below the nipple.
Well,
because
it'll
if our
get caught
nipple-
too.
Yeah.
You know, what about the nipple though?
If our nipple hangs out, it's sexual harassment. We have to go home and change our clothes.
At a sawmill. I seen his fucking nipple, man.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Write him up.
And we're not allowed to wear shorts either.
Put pasties on.
Well, that's normal. I mean, like I said, I mean, like you're working with saws and fucking rough cut lumber. Like, I mean,
Put pasties on.
my mom actually worked at a sawmill for a little bit, you know, and my mom's a tough fucking broad too. Like, I mean, she could fucking work with any man.
Yeah.
But a couple days in too, she realized real quick how easy it is to drop one of them fucking boards and it just bounces your whole way down your leg, down the thigh, down the shin, bruise your whole fucking leg. And if that's a rough cut piece of wood, you're getting fucking sliced, you're getting splinters.
yeah,
So
I
like,
got-
you better have some
I
fucking
got
jeans
scars the whole
on.
way down my legs from people dropping them on me.
Oh, I bet. Fucking, I don't know what the hell is wrong with people dropping fucking wood on you, but I guess you're
Well,
below.
the one
They're above
kid-
you, huh?
The one kid was literally like this tall, and I'm towering over him, and he's like, "I can pick it up." Well, he picks it up, he gets it up about 2 seconds and dropped it. And I was
I'll
like,
hit it.
"Oh, okay. He drops it on my foot, and he's like, "Did that hurt?" I'm like, "Well, considering you're only 2 inches off the ground, no, not really."
What did I fucking hear? It was something I said I was gonna fucking use. You can take this to work. He was like, "What'd you say? I can't hear anything that's that close to the ground."
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Well, and it's impressive because the two guys on the line that I went to school with, two of the people that are on my line. The one kid dropped out, the one with the snakes, he dropped out. The other kid, he graduated with me, and he's only like 4'10",
Oh,
and he does the 10 and 12 foots all day by himself.
no shit.
He doesn't want no
Shout
help,
out.
no nothing. He's like, I'll do it. I want to do it. Because I was doing it. He's like, nah, it's my turn. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, we're going to watch this episode. And he's like, run as fast as you can. I'm like, well, you just screwed that up. Click, 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 125. Mink, 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 mink. Just sending him. And he's like this down at the end. He's like, I was like, you said run it. I said, I was running it.
Oh, dude, I love them when there's like maybe an inch between boards, dude. Sometimes they're coming down and just touching you, because again, you got to go up. Yeah, you don't wait for them to come to you, because that's how you know, like, are you actually working, or are you waiting, are you just sitting around? Because again, like, I'm meeting it at the fucking saw. Usually as soon as it drops down, I go up and get it, and I'll run that fucker wherever it needs to go, because again, if you don't know, like, they'll determine based on where it's decided it has to be cut, whether it's a 6, 8 footer, 10 or 12 or whatever, and then you got to put it in a cart for respective size. You know what I mean? So like literally you could stand there. Sometimes you just stand there if it's, slow or getting to the end, you just wait for it to come to you and you bounce it in. But like most cases you're hustling. I can only imagine, like, cause I was working that shit before, like days of Apple Watch and all that. I'd love to know how much ground you cover, because a chain, I don't know how long your line is.
One end of the building to the other.
So like, but how much ground you're covering, if you're actually working and running every cart, it's like, it's a fucking mission, dude. And like most of the times we only had maybe 2 people. A lot of times you were by your fucking self, because you had to have somebody over on the green line. I mean, we've just been shorthanded in that fucking industry for a long time. So like one person running which one runs faster, green or dry? I don't remember. Does it vary? I didn't know. Like, I feel like
our dry side runs faster than the whole mill itself, because our dry side's all brand new.
Do you have a stacker?
Yeah.
Dude, that was my fucking favorite place to be, dude. Laying sticks.
Yep.
You guys still do that?
Yeah.
Dude, hire me. Dude, I'm telling you, man, dude, there is nothing fucking better. I don't give a shit if they're the fucking the ones that the airflow sticks. Do they still do those that are textured or whatever? But like, depending on the board feet, like I still fucking lay them out, slam them all in, dude, for the next layer comes down on, dude. Like, I'm telling you, dude, when you have a good crew, and like Darren Medic and like I don't remember Sean's last name, but dude, like we literally would throw in like some Static X, fastest fucking metal you can fucking listen to, dude, and just run it all fucking day, dude, and like literally like don't even wait on me. You know what I mean? Like it was a joke. Like, hey, I'm waiting on you. Where's the fucking layer? You know what I mean? Like we'd literally be getting it done just as it drops down, and like empty out the pack. Like, I literally could work in a fucking sawmill just for fun. You don't have to even pay me, dude. Like it's fun to me. Like I think it's interesting, and I just love a good fucking workout, because that's the thing too. A lot of guys are like, hey, listen, like, might not love the job, but I can come in here all summer long and get fucking ripped, because it's all upper body, and then you're just walking all day, moving all day.
Yeah. My cousin, he's a big boy. He lifted a lot in school, and he's got some arms on him. Well, we sat down there the one day, and the one guy he went to jail, so he knew a jail workout routine. We sat down there and did the jail work routine, waiting for Wood to come down the line. And we were all working out and everything, and the one kid was sitting there doing push-ups. My cousin's literally bench pressing this cart, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I'm bored. I'm like, so you just decided to bench press one of the carts? He's like, hey, whatever works. I was like, okay, I guess.
This looks like a TikTok video waiting to happen. Literally, like, it's in a sawmill, and you got all these buff burly dudes, but they're all down there at the end of the fucking thing working out, looking good.
Well, it was funny because my cousin, he was doing it with no hesitation. And this cart's like thick steel.
Oh, yeah, they're like...
there. I'm like...
It's like angle iron and fucking solid steel. Even the wheels are fucking heavy. Like solid wheels, they got to roll in cement all day. There's not even air in the tires, right? They're not like that, right?
No, they're hard.
Yeah, right. Because if you put all that lumber in a tire that had air in it, it'd fucking poof. So literally, like, the cart alone is probably a couple hundred fucking pounds. Easy. Like, it's no joke.
I've gotten them packed so tight one time, the lift driver picked the cart up, and I watched the cart go with the pack.
I love that, dude. That's when you know you're... That sucks. And
slamming the forklift to start shaking it. It wouldn't come off. I walk over with the sledgehammer, I'm like climbing on the lift. He's like, hit that damn thing off there. And I hit it off, and all I hear is, boom! All 4 of the tires fly across the floor.
Oh, man.
I was like, well, there goes that cart.
That's
take that outside.
Crazy.
Here comes my boss. He's like, quit breaking carts. We're only down to 6. I'm like, oops. I
Man.
broke like 3 in 1 week. I was
Holy
like,
fuck, you're costing the company money.
That's why I don't stack no more, because they're like, quit making them so damn tight. And I'm like, you just said you wanted them tight.
There's something about a perfect fit too. Plus, like, you're maximizing the wood that the customer's getting, so it's just good for business, to have a pack fit good, and especially like in hauling, if it's loose at all and there's gaps between, you're not a good stacker, And then also too, like, they're gonna, oh my god, there's nothing funnier than like, because once you fill up a cart, they or as you're filling it, you should be inspecting the sides before it even goes in the cart. Because if you're good at what you're doing, it doesn't go on the edge. If it's got a bad edge, it goes in the middle. You hide it in the middle of the pack.
Yep.
But like literally, like they'd be coming over to fucking inspect your pack just as you're about to finishing up, and you're like, "What's that?" Because then you got to figure out how to pull it out and then make one fit, and then you're rearranging fucking layers of all boards that are different widths and shapes, and you get one that's a little bit warped, like you got to save that one for the top, it's like it's a whole strategic fucking process when you're looking. It's like Jenga almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Trying to build this thing in a cart, it's like, it's actually, like I said, it actually takes a good bit of not only strength but like intelligence to be able to do it right. There's not enough fucking credit given.
That kid at the end of the line, he's only so big, and they gave him a hammer. They call it a hammer. It's a big old piece of pipe, and it's solid, and it weighs more than he does.
Like hitting him in.
And you'll see him pick it up, and he slowly falls to the ground, and he stumbles his way to the side of the pack, and he's like, huh. And you see it just knock him all over the place. And I'm like,
right, he just hits it and he goes backwards. That's a lie. Oh,
like
fuck.
If I got a label not on the side, I have to redo it.
Yep, you gotta fucking redo the whole thing. And like I said, at least you can rearrange it, but you can fuck it up real quick.
Oh,
Absolutely. Yeah. And if it doesn't look good and doesn't ride good, then you might as well empty it, because you'll literally like wheel it to the fucking end. We got to tear the whole thing apart, or you'll have somebody put a fucking 8 in a pack of 10s or something. You're like, well, there's a fucking hole there, dingus. Like that looks like hell. All the edges have got to meet.
Some of the new guys I've trained, I've watched them. I said 10s and 12s go in this bin.
Well, when they're set up the whole way down the line, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. It's like, so, they're not labeled, but it's common sense. Like I said, I'm not going to put a short board, like, you're not out there measuring every board. Like I said, you have to have a little bit of common sense and a little bit of intelligence to be able to do it. Man, I really want to come stack lumber. Hire me as a temp. Dude, I just need like 3 days a week, no pay.
Shit, they might make you a whole week then if you ain't pay.
Well, I have a real job and I have things I like. I just want to do it for fun. But I'm a good fucking worker and I'm not there fucking off. I swear to God, I'll fucking show up. Caffeine. Fucking donate my fucking check to fucking charity of my choice. The Hawk Twa fucking fund. Let's get her out of fucking debt. I know she ripped everybody off and she's real sorry. You live essentially locally. What is there to do around here? If you're looking to fucking have a good time with your friends, what is there to do around here? What do you do for entertainment?
Some of us go to the drive-in around here. Some of us just ride dirt roads and play in the mud.
So still just like driving around and shit like that. See, I didn't know if like people still just fucking cruise around because gas is pretty expensive, It's like, but that's all we used to do back in the day, man. Like we would just fucking literally cruise around and listen to fucking every song we know to just chill out. Like friends would be spotting or something, Like I miss having like country friends, like because we like to do all kinds of stuff. I like to go to shows and do the city shit, but it's like, are there a group of people still doing that and they're not just sitting inside Xboxing it and all that, like, because I like to play video games just as much as the next guy, but at the same time, dude, like I'm enjoying outside way more, dude. Like I'll get burnt out on playing video games after like an hour, so it's like I'm ready to get out and fucking do something fun, especially like where we live. Like I said, out in the woods, out in the fucking mud, get dirty, dude, fucking get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, gain some scars if you're fucking,
For the last couple of months, I've been helping a buddy put a new motor in his truck. So his truck's done. He's just got to get it in.
Is that your thing, or are you just, you're kind of just helping him along?
I helped him along because his dad was helping him. I was helping him. We did it kind of as like a together project because he wanted it done, and I told him that we should do it. So it was like a together thing.
kind of
but-
motivate each other to just get
Yeah.
it done and see that's what you need. You need somebody else. Like, well, maybe by myself I would just sit here and make a bunch of excuses not to do it, but hey, let's fucking just start it tomorrow. Like that's the
Yeah.
best way to approach something, dude.
That's
so like,
literally what him and his dad did. Is the next day after we talked about it, his dad went and picked up the donor truck that had the motor in it. They pulled the motors out of both trucks. Then we tore the one motor down. We rebuilt most of it, like put new gaskets and shit in it. And it just recently was running on its own. And it'll run now. We had it doing 80 the one day. And the truck with the motor in it before, you could only do 45.
wow, that's impressive. So what kind of truck? What kind of motor?
It's a Chevy. And
Good
we
choice.
put a 350 small block in it.
Oh, nice. Okay. My dad's truck had like a 305 in it. It was a little weak. We had a Suburban though that had a 454 in it. So I've been around some motorheads and stuff most of
Yeah.
my life and stuff. So like I could never approach fucking any kind of that work, but always was around to like lend a hand, try to learn something. Like
Yeah.
again, that's the best way to do it. If you ever have the interest in learning how to do it, find somebody that's doing it or wants to do it and fucking
Yeah.
make it happen. Because like my mom's lifelong friend and someone I've known now most of my life now, he does that stuff on the regular, and it just blows my mind because like he'll buy like 3 or 4 of the same vehicle, and he's swapping bodies, he's swapping beds of trucks. I mean, he'll do body swaps and motor swaps. It's like it's just another day for him,
Yeah.
And it's like, boy, to have that kind of skill. Yeah, my mom laughs at him all the time. She's like, you can just buy one that runs, right? You can just buy one that's already together. You don't have to like buy 4 and put one together because that's what he'll do. Buy a couple Cobalts and make one really, really nice one out of one, because he buys them at a good price if they got no motor or they got no transmission. And,
Right.
same with his trucks. He finds a truck that's got a really nice interior, but he doesn't like the cab or he doesn't like the bed or he doesn't like or it's got a bad frame.
Yeah.
He just fucking swaps it out. It's unbelievable. For years he tried to get me to body swap my van to something 4-wheel drive, which would have been fucking badass. I had a Ford F 350? Yeah, 350. He caught an inline van, which would have been badass to lift and do all of that with
Yeah.
it. But would have been stupid to do if it was 2-wheel drive. It's
Yeah.
like all show, no go. You know what I mean? Like it looked like it'd be an off-road vehicle, but it wouldn't do anything, So yeah, he wanted to make it 4-wheel drive, and I had dreams of like making it a 5-speed and shit. Would have been fucking badass, but ended up having to sell it. But yeah, it's cool to be able to do that shit, man. Like especially like I said, like half the stuff you find online anymore, marketplace at least, like shit doesn't even have a motor or anything like that. So
No.
if I find something that needs a fucking motor swap, I'll let you know. Well, it's crazy because again, like I don't know, the backyard mechanics almost dead.
Yeah.
Like with the stuff that's being made now. So it's like it's really hard to find people that are still just in their garage tinkering with shit and still doing their own shit. And I mean, like honest people. Like if you actually had someone that needed that done, I'm sure that you'd fucking not rip them off. You wouldn't fucking
Yeah.
run them up the street. Like half these places, I mean, like I know whenever I was looking to have my van, the fuel pump, they wanted like $5,000, just to
It's
replace the
literally
fuel
not
pump.
that hard.
Well, I understand you have to drop the gas tank and all that, but we had actually cut an access panel in the interior of the van and the floor because obviously it was just a rolling house anyway. So literally just cut out the floor and able to swap it that way. But yeah, it's crazy what it costs to get anything done anymore. I mean, like, as you're talking parts, labor, all that, like.
That's like I tried to have somebody rebuild my blaster. It's a 2-stroke. The guy wanted $1,500 to rebuild it, and the rebuild kit's only $80.
What?
And I looked at him and said, "What kind of drugs are you smoking?" And my brother-in-law even looked at him and goes, "I don't know what you're on, but I can see the rebuild kit right here on my phone, and it's only $80.
Right.
I could have that put in and rebuilt in 10 minutes." He goes, "What the hell do you need that much money for?"
Yeah, how do you justify that?
Parts. And he goes, "What part? If he has everything for you, put it together. It'd take 10, 20 minutes."
Well, and that's where there's people too, like, oh, well, I've got to get the part. I got it from my guy, because a lot of places now, like, won't even allow you to, like, buy the part, bring it in, and have it put on. They don't want to put your part on.
Right.
It's like, well, maybe one could say, well, it's a liability thing. Maybe they can't trust, like, maybe they want to put a used part on. I understand that maybe, but still, like, the day of the internet is here. It's like you said, you can fucking Google the part and fucking see what it costs. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, so, you can tell if somebody's ripping you off, because you could probably assess how long it would take to do it. Do you have to tear down the motor and all that shit to do it? Like, yeah, a lot of work. And blasters are cool, though. We were talking about 4-wheelers before, man. That used to be the thing back in the day. Everybody had a blaster or a Banshee, or I remember when the Raptors come out.
I want mine done. I want it done so it's done sitting in my driveway without a motor.
But where do you ride it?
I'll ride it right in town. I don't care. I rode it in town before.
Yeah, because that was my biggest limitation, dude. I loved riding dirt bikes and hot rodding all over the place. But again, we talked about property. Everybody's buying up property. Everything's posted. You can't ride anywhere. And like, I could only get so much enjoyment out of riding a track. I like natural terrain.
Yeah.
So it just became harder and harder to do it, and I got to truck around a bike or a 4-wheeler, or so it's like with a BMX bike, dude, I literally can step off my porch and go get the same thrill as I would riding a dirt bike.
See, I used to ride those, but not anymore. I had a bad accident on those.
Really? Well,
yeah.
I mean, helmets are getting fucking better and better every day.
Well, it wasn't my head, it was my elbow.
Oh, I mean, that's unavoidable. I mean, like elbow pads and stuff, but yeah, you don't want to fuck yourself up, because this is where, like, now we're adults to where, like, okay, well, if I fucking hurt myself having fun, now I can't work, and now I'm starving, so it's like, I talked about that before, like riding BMX, I've always been conscious, like, if I break my left hand, I'm fucked, like, if I can't do a tattoo, then, like, I mean, that's my main source of fucking income. It's like, so, I mean, and a lot of personal enjoyment comes out of that, so it's like, literally, if I couldn't draw, so it's definitely something you got to think about. You got to like weigh the risk versus reward. But you could ride a BMX bike and not be out there having to jump and be crazy and stuff. You could just be cruising and grinding ledges and shit.
I used to cruise, and then cruising came into wheeling, and
it's hard to, that's why I don't have a street bike. Well, exactly why I don't have a street bike.
The kid goes, I bet you can't wheelie this BMX bike like me. Well, I hopped on it, being a smartass. I was like, watch me. And as soon as I did it, I went through the ice cream store parking lot down in Emporium, and the back tire kicked out. I went under the car, the bike went under the car, and my elbow caught the end of their exhaust and ripped my elbow right open.
Oh my god, that was it. That was the end of that.
Oh yeah.
BMX career over.
I rode the bike home one-handed standing.
Oh,
and went to the kid's mom's house, and she doctored me up. I'm walking up the road, pushing my bike. My arm's stuck like this because she wrapped it up so damn tight. My mom gets out of her car. She's like, what the hell? I'm like, don't ask.
Probably smacked in the back of the head.
Well, then, like, the next day, I unwrapped it after I got out of the shower, and she's looking at it. She's like, I'm like, well, why are you looking?
I'm the one that's usually gagging. We talked about my fucking weak stomach, but the last time that I had to get stitches, dude, was a fucking fiasco, man. Like, it, for some reason, 2:30 in the morning, I decided to fucking take care of a wasp's hornet nest. It was like a white-faced hornet's nest. I was like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's go fuck with that nest. Go down there and start fucking with it a little bit. Well, they had to jump on me, and I started to, like, double back into the house and got caught up in the screen door. So as I'm trying to close the screen door, something fell and was blocking the screen door from closing. So they were all coming in and stinging the fuck out of me.
Oh.
So as I'm
7 months pregnant.
As I'm trying to close the door with my shoulder, I break the glass of the door and sliced my arm open deeper than I've had a cut since. I mean, like, it fucking sliced me wide open. But my adrenaline was pumping. I was getting stung by white-faced hornets, so I didn't know about my arm yet. So I got the fucking door finally closed, and I got back in the fucking house, and I'm fucking like, oh my god, like my meat's all hanging out and shit, dude, and like, I'm like running upstairs asking for a fucking towel. For some reason, I was able to keep my composure. I think it was because it was on me. If it would have been on somebody else, I would have been out. But whenever it's me, I think I know I have to, like, survival instinct kicks in. So like I blocked it up and like was looking at it, and like I got stitched up pretty good. Like, and shout out to the doctor, because he actually was overly considerate and put my tattoo back together and everything. Like, he was like, I'm like, dude, fucking, who cares about the fucking tattoo? Just fix me. Oh no, we're gonna do this right. He's like, I'm gonna take a little extra time, do this right. Like, I was numbed up, I really couldn't feel it, but like, he really took the time to make sure my artwork was put back together, dude. It was unreal. But that was the last time I ended up fucking stitches and shit like that. It's not a good time. Oh. Yeah. Fucking don't fuck with bees.
It was bad.
And then, literally, okay, so that happened, and like, it just so happened to be too that that night we had no vehicle. The car was in the shop being inspected or something like that. So like, literally, had to call the neighbor to get a ride to the emergency room. So we get to the emergency room and do all that, get the stitches, to come back home. Well, then the next day, our landlord at the time asked if I could help him move something out of his yard. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. I mean, like, I was all wrapped up and shit like that. I was like, but I'll come help you move a thing real quick. Literally lift this fucking thing up that he wants me to move. There's a hornet's nest underneath it, dude. And they fucking come out and stung the fucking shit out of my legs and shit. Dude. Literally less than 24 hours after I get out of the hospital getting stitched up from the last bee fiasco. I fucking got stung up in his fucking yard. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Like, it's like those bees knew. They heard word from the other bees. And they fucking knew I was coming,
They're like,
dude.
he's coming here.
I'm
we're
telling
gonna
you,
get him.
dude. They fucking seen me coming, dude, from a mile away, and they fucked me up good, dude.
Homer just called me. My car must be done.
Well, anything you want to leave us with, dude? We can fucking wrap her up, dude. We can fucking...
Allergic to penicillin. I almost died.
That's like my sister. She was on this weight loss shot because she didn't like how she was. And,
Well, no, I was going to tell you, you might as well fucking, put it back to normal.
Oh, yeah.
But she was on a weight loss shot?
yeah.
Not like Ozempic, but probably similar.
No, it was Ozempic.
Oh, was it?
I
Holy
thought
shit.
it
Tell
was
us more, dude. That shit's
And
bad.
she was on it. She wasn't eating. Didn't really do much. She just took care of the baby and her 4-year-old, and that was about it. Well, the one day, my brother-in-law gets a phone call from my 4-year-old nephew. Mommy's not waking up. Mommy's not waking up.
Oh, fuck.
My brother-in-law I wasn't home because I was going to the dentist. My brother-in-law flew out of the mill, went home, found her unresponsive, calls the ambulance, then calls me and says, get to St. Mary's. I'm like, I don't have my truck. I was like, you got to come pick me up. He's like, all right. So he picks me up. We go into St. Mary's, and we're sitting in the room with her because she finally come back too. And she just starts screaming.
Jeez.
Just looking up, just screaming out of nowhere. And they didn't know what it was. They kept saying it was a panic attack. So they'd get her calmed back down. And then like 10 minutes later, she'd do it again. She did it like 5 times before they sedated her.
Jesus.
And then they life-flighted her they ambulanced her to Pittsburgh. She was in Pittsburgh for 2 weeks. And in Pittsburgh, when she was sedated, she seen my grandma. And my grandma's like, it's not your fucking time. Get going.
Holy shit.
And then that's the same day my sister woke up.
That gives me chills.
Yeah.
That's unreal, dude. Holy
So what
shit.
happened?
Yeah,
It
was it
that
just...
shot?
Oh,
That
Ozempic.
shot-
Jesus.
Fucked her up.
See, Ozempic isn't safe.
Nope.
Well, it's like, I don't know if they're like giving it to people for weight loss, but that's
Well,
not
it's for diabetics.
I was gonna
is what
say
it
that's
is.
not what it's for. It's for people with diabetes. So like, if you're not a diabetic and you're taking that, like that is fucking
Gonna
your
fuck
system
you
up,
up.
like really bad. So it's like, I don't know how it ever, I mean, it's just one of those things. Somebody has it and they're getting it because they're a diabetic and they're saying, oh, well, it's suppressing my appetite and I'm losing all this weight. And somebody says, oh, you're losing a bunch of weight from taking that. Wonder if
Yeah.
I can get that, and then it's just a snowball effect. Like people start taking it and not realizing it. Like, hello, like this is supposed to be balancing out your system if you're a diabetic. So it's like it's really fucking you up if you're not. There's
They're selling it on the street.
there's just no cure-all way to lose fucking weight is the problem. Like, people want no effort. People want, to not have to work out. People don't want to have to diet. They just want a cure-all. Give me a shot. It's going to
Do it
make
the
me not eat.
fastest way.
It's like, well, there's consequences, and sometimes it could kill you.
Well, I even told her after she got back home, I was like, if you want to lose weight, I said, come down to the house. I was like, I will literally put you through a workout. You will lose
be like
weight
her personal
so
trainer,
fast.
essentially, and just kind of help her stay motivated, even. Like,
Because
that's
I
the best
have
way.
a weight bench, everything at the house. Like, I do it every day.
do you? That's good, man. And, like, you probably know, you're drinking Gatorade now, so you probably obviously understand.
I cut soda, energy drinks,
Sugar.
everything.
Sugar is the main thing. If you can eliminate sugar and you
You'll
can
lose
switch to
so
water now,
much.
I pump myself full of caffeine all day, but like this has 0 sugar, 0 calories. So like for the most part, and even like I drink like Crystal Light sweet tea, no sugar. And I don't drink as much water as I should, but that's like the biggest thing. If you can cut out sugar and drinking pop and that kind of terrible shit, even like I used to drink that Lipton Pure Leaf sweet tea, the extra sweet, and
Yeah.
man, like that thing has got so much sugar in it. And like a can of pop, a 6-pack regular cans of pop in a 6-pack of like Pepsi, that's a pound of sugar collectively. Like, you look at a fucking pound of fucking sugar, like, and you know how fast you can drink 6 cans of fucking Pepsi. You know, like, you're not even quenching your thirst after 6 cans. So it's like, you can consume a lot of sugar, and that stuff just, your body just stores it, you know,
Right.
and that turns into fat, you know. So like, realistically, just changing just a couple things can change your whole body's process. Because
and
like,
I even told her, I said, quit drinking pop. I said, cut it completely out. She's like, well, what do I drink? I was like, drink Gatorade or water.
I used to drink Gatorade a lot.
I said, that's what's making you fat. I said,
Pretty
I don't
much,
want to
yeah.
say it, but it's the pop.
well,
I
it's what's
said,
causing you to gain weight. It's
Yeah.
what's causing you to maintain this heavy weight, you know. Because again, your body is naturally going to burn that off
yeah.
if you're not, you know, doing stuff like that. Like, because again, like, I mean, I'm not like, I mean, maybe standards would call me overweight, but I'm not like overweight, and like, I eat fucking drive through cheeseburgers and shit, you
Oh,
know, and
yeah.
like, I'm not on like a hardcore workout regimen, but like, I have a personal sauna downstairs, so that helps too, you know what I mean? Like, you know, sweat it out a little bit, it helps detox you a little bit, it helps your system there. We've got a little home gym, you know, down in the basement and shit, so it's like just little stuff, you know, and I'm active enough through the day that as long as I'm not like chugging down a bunch of sugar, really, I maintain my weight and being
Yeah.
in shape. Summer's coming, riding's gonna be a thing, you know, so it's like, you know, yeah, just, you know, just taking the right steps, you know, it's really not that difficult. You know, the hardest thing is that, like, you know, when you start cutting out things like that, highly addictive substances like sugar and caffeine, you're going to have to go through like a week of misery of like having
Oh,
a
yeah.
major headache, because it's just like anything, you're dependent on it. Your body feels like it needs that. It's waiting for that sugar.
Oh, yeah, that migraine I had for a solid week,
Yeah.
it killed
It's bad, dude, but you just push through it. Just chug water, man, or Gatorade. It helps because there you're getting your electrolytes and shit.
I literally just put headphones on and I just cranked Metallica. That's literally all I did.
Drowns it
I,
out.
I didn't even acknowledge that I had a headache.
Yeah, because realistically, it's only a couple days. You know, like I said, you know, it's for the better. You know, it's minor suffering to get through it, and you're going to see drastic change. Especially,
Yeah,
like I
I
said,
lost
most
like
people
15 pounds once I cut that pop.
for real. Especially again, you move around all day. You know, even people that aren't working out every day. I mean, you're up and moving. You have a job. You're every day. Even if you're stay at home fucking parent, you know, like you're still up and moving every day. Like if you just switch to water or
Yeah.
something with no sugar, you're going to have drastic change.
Yep.
So let's end it on that. Better yourself. Let's get the fucking downstairs. I'm sweating now. My
Yeah.
fan's not on. I just realized my fan's not on. You probably feel good. You got a ceiling fan over there. All right. We spit all over it. We're done. Oh, man. Next investment's going to be new chairs. Well, and it's weird too how hospitals don't communicate to each other either. Like, you
Yeah.
know, ended up, you know, in Du Bois was the main hospital that we went to
That's-
for everything, and it's like
Yeah, it was.
it was so hard for them to get any information, you know, from the one time that we
Yeah.
had to go in there for the emergency room, like to get, you know, any kind of documentation. It was like, fuck, we had to keep repeating ourselves every time we went in there. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
how is this not in our
Didn't
fucking
you get
records?
that?
You know, it's like, you know, so I think that's probably down to the system, which, I
Yeah.
mean, we technically ended it, but we're still recording. But, like,
Oh, we missed it.
but it's like, well, I was just going to say, well, I was going to
Okay.
say keep it on. But it's like the system is probably the problem, too, because, again, there's not like a shared network between hospitals, you know? So
No.
maybe now that UPMC is becoming like a fucking god of everything healthcare,
Everything.
you know, like hopefully those systems now will all be integrated. And as soon as something happens here, and
should be
it,
transferred
it
over.
should be, because again, like if you were residing here but you were in vacation in New Mexico and something happened, they should immediately be able to pull up your records
Yeah.
that are here. You know what I mean?
That's-
Like, because they'd be giving you the wrong
What you're
medication down there or
allergic
something, right? Your
to,
Yeah.
allergies.
know,
You know, they could really fucking kill somebody or fuck somebody up by
They
just not
fucked
having the right
me up.
information.